So, okay, the film is named Paranoid. Basically, we were trying to achieve like the stereotypical horror film with the girl in on her own and hearing noises, and turns out someone's in the house who's trying to kill her.
And what, in the whole of your film storyline, what would happen in this film? I know you've only filmed the opening made the only 2 minutes, but what's kind of the rough storyline of your film?
Maybe that could be like the first kill, and then maybe it could go on to like her family member or like something like that.
Okay. All right. Well, let's watch. Turn the lights off, please, Sarah. Let's watch, or Emma. Let's watch and find out exactly. Go go full screen in the bottom right-hand corner. So it is actually full screen. So it's not at the moment, is it? Yeah. Go on, press that. That's it. Press play. Everyone else, nice and quiet. Watch. This is Paranoid. Right, round of applause for Paranoid, please. First ever media studies film. Pretty good. Okay, now, excuse me. Positives. Who wants to go first? Someone offer the girls something they think they did actually really well and really nicely in that. There's lots to talk about. I've got a few to throw in there. Matt Self, yes.
I thought like the music in the background was really good, like fit into the horror like genre sort of thing. Like quite good at building suspense with it.
Good, thank you, Matt. So I like the use of the music, setting the scene, setting the genre, building suspense. I mean, you know, I've watched opening 2 minutes of films, you know, over the last few years, and they haven't looked like the opening 2 minutes of a film of any particular genre. You've set the genre out. It's clearly a horror. Looks like the opening 2 minutes of a film rather than a trailer. So, you know, that sort of all comes down to the editing, and that's what Matt's talking about, the music as well. Good. So?
Use of editing techniques on the contrast and the colour to make it look like something maybe almost a dreamlike as well.
Yeah, talk to me a little bit about that effect you kind of put over the footage. You know, the sort of grainy.
When we had it in like a normal colour, it didn't look horror, so we
Yeah.
put it into black and white,
Yeah.
and it still didn't look right, so we just played around. We didn't want to make it too light, because dark seems to...
Well, it's because of the because with the camera it didn't have like the night mode on it, so we couldn't really go outside because you couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
So we had to keep it inside, with like close everything, so it looked kind of dark. And we put it in there because there's loads of flashing going on. It looks like
Yeah, we were going to have it just at the start for the establishing shot, but then we thought, okay, well, we may as well just see what it looks like throughout, and we thought just keep it.
And theoretically, if that film was to continue, would it kind of keep that effect, or would that just be for the opening 2 minutes?
I don't know, I think we would have to keep
I think it would be a bit annoying.
It would be annoying, but
because
what
it is quite
would you
country, but I don't know.
I mean, did you watch anything that kind of inspired that, sort of like any other kind of horror films that inspired that kind of effect, or is it something a bit new that you thought you would just try?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe Paranormal Activity is quite like.
That's what I was
flashy
thinking
the whole
about.
time.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you. Positives. Any more? Anna.
I like the way you ended it. That really made it like us feel tense. You just scream and then it comes up with paranoid.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Good, yeah, absolutely. I think lots of horror films have begin pre-credits with the first murder, end with the title, and then the film would begin by
And
going
I
back
think
to the start.
The title does have relevance.
Yeah,
To the footage, so.
absolutely. Hannah Evans, what do you think? Give us some kind of positive critique.
I thought it was really good because the whole credit really built up the suspense of the music, kind of get them high pitch towards the end.
Yeah. Building up is interesting, building up of suspense, starting quite slowly and then building up to some kind of crescendo. I think you achieved that, certainly. Good. Kieran?
I quite liked the shots up on the face when you started to scream.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just added a little bit more sort of depth to it maybe than we usually do.
Yeah, and it's very tempting not to mix up your camera shots, not to use close-ups. And you kind of did. You sort of had long shots, and medium shots, and close-ups, and low angle and high angle, and you really made an effort to do that. I think one of my favourite bits about it was actually the use of editing. Actually how some shots faded into other shots. You didn't kind of always fade to black and then fade in again. But some shots kind of faded into each other, and it meant that the editing was kind of invisible, which is what you want to achieve often.
Yeah.
And I liked that. I thought that was worked really nicely. Ollie?
Yeah, that pan where it faded from the bedroom and then went round to the bathroom. I don't know, is that just because the bathroom's next to the bedroom, or did it fade? It sort of went through as it was a fluid movement, but I guess it was edited like that. I thought that was good.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think, guys? How did that work, that scene?
Well, yeah, we wanted to show that no one was there and then go to the bathroom. But yeah, the bathroom was joined to the room. So
All right. Okay. Yes, Sam.
No, I was just going to say, I like how they only used mid-shot of Sarah without using the head, so it adds a sense of ambiguity.
Yeah, we didn't really want to give that away.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Good, and that's kind of enigmatic. That's mysterious. That makes you want to carry on watching the film. Who is this person? What are they doing? And if you maybe saw that too early, you don't often see the killer in a horror film, do you? It's unless it's part and parcel of the narrative. So you're keeping that back from the audience, which is nice. Good. Okay, question to you guys before we ask the rest of them. If you had your time again, you're on a steep learning curve in Year 12 Media Studies. You're kind of getting on with using lots of editing equipment. You're shooting for the first time, using tripods, cameras for the first time. Had your time again, and bearing in mind that you will have another opportunity in the summer term when you come back to make another film. Then you make another film in Year 13. So what would you maybe have done differently? Having watched it on the big screen, what do you think doesn't quite work, or what would you maybe have a go at doing differently, if anything? It's a hard question, but.
I don't know, maybe shots of it in different locations, more different, because we kept it in the same room. Maybe tried a bit different there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something the other Year 12 group said too. I think some of the ones we watched earlier that had 2 or 3 or 4 different locations all kind of cut together seemed to work quite nicely. If you base it in one location, sometimes it can be a bit limiting. That's an interesting point. Sarah, what do you think?
Well, at the beginning we had quite a lot of trouble with our storyline.
Yeah.
We've changed it loads since then, so I think planning it more.
And it sounds like you're still not 100% where your film might go. But no, and you don't necessarily need to be honest with you, But yeah, changing your mind and really planning it out first would be one thing. Okay, interesting. Opening out to the group. Anything you kind of thought, maybe that didn't quite work, and it's difficult to be critical of your kind of colleagues in the class, but anything you thought, I don't know about that, I'm not sure about that, before I kind of offer my own opinion? Charlie, what do you think? Anything that didn't quite work for you?
Not sure.
Sorry.
Most horror films, I know you were trying to do the mirror. Perhaps you could have managed to find a way so you could see her behind things.
We tried that.
I really do not
But
like
you
it.
can see the Sarah
We
in the
tried
mirror
it.
and her
We
face.
I know.
I hate that in the shower at one point. No, it's not going to work.
It's very hard. One of my Year 13 groups this year have tried to do that shot, and even the Len result hasn't quite
It's so
pulled it off.
Yeah.
You think it looks easy when you're watching a horror film, but it's actually really difficult. Okay. I don't know. Alex, what do you think? Anything you're watching thinking, okay, maybe, yeah, I like this, that bit maybe wasn't quite right, didn't quite work. Any thoughts? Or did you just think it was good?
No, it's quite difficult to like criticise it.
It is. Well, that's obviously kind of quite a
we
good.
really had trouble
point.
with like the screaming at the end because
Yeah.
obviously
Yeah.
like the two screams aren't the exact same. So
It's hard to
Yeah,
get
we
it
would
to
change
change the second, so she did it about like 50 times, so we just had to stop.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Fair enough. I think the only thing I might say, the only thing that for me maybe doesn't quite work, I'm not sure why, is possibly the effect I talked about right at the start. I don't know. You know, the graininess type thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if to continue that throughout a whole film might be quite a bit off-putting for the audience. But you know, it's something to be played. You can play around with those kind of effects till forever, really, because there's so many on Adobe to use. So I'll have to rewatch it, and that might grow on me. But I think the use of the camera, the smoothness of the camera shot, the editing, you know, the use of the sound, you've kind of fulfilled all the conventions, and it's just kind of moving on from there, really. So it's really good. Well done. Thank you, guys. Good.